Can you imagine how good it would feel to not be stressed about money? To be able to look into your future and see a comfortable retirement, living where and how you want to live, and relaxing instead of having to work through your golden years? What if you could afford to take the dream vacation you've always wanted without having to max out your credit cards? This future is achievable for so many people if only they took the steps necessary to make it happen. With this video, I'll explain the most reliable way to achieve financial success. I call this the roadmap to riches because it's a map of the steps to take to get you from wherever you are and move you towards living a wealthier, more fulfilling lifestyle. By the end of this video, you'll have a clarity and mission that can be very powerful if you take the steps to make it happen. Let me emphasize that again. Knowing what you need to do and doing that thing are the difference between night and day. I'll teach you, but you have to do it. What I'm about to share literally applies to everyone. If you're young and just getting started, then this is most powerful for you, but even older folks can benefit. My audience skews more towards men, but I really want to encourage women to watch this too. I have teenage daughters, and this is exactly the advice I want them to soak up and put into practice as they finish their schooling years and head out into the big adventure of building their lives. So ladies, please share this with your friends. Parents, have your older kids watch it too. For those of you who don't know me yet, let me give a quick introduction so you can decide if I'm worth listening to. I've got an undergraduate degree in economics, an MBA in finance from Cornell University, and I'm a chartered financial analyst. All that stuff means is I understand finance and investing really well. In addition, I've been the chief financial officer of several software companies and have worked on my own entrepreneurial ventures too. Now let's get started. The first stop on the roadmap to riches, although you should revisit the stop over and over again, is education and learning new skills. This might be a little different than what you're thinking, so hear me out. When I was a teenager, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I figured I was probably going to college, but I really wasn't committed to the idea. Thankfully, I did though, because once I got there, the light bulb turned on for me. I discovered that I liked learning new things and that if I applied myself, I could actually do really well in school. I also started to find out how little I knew about the world and how much more business opportunity there is for people who learn marketable skills than for those who don't. What I mean by this is that to generate income, knowing how to do things is almost everything. It doesn't matter if you didn't finish high school or have multiple advanced degrees. To generate income, meaning to get paid, you must know how to do something that someone else values and will pay you to get done. And if you want to get paid more than you're currently getting, then you need to learn how to do something that is worth more. It's easier than ever now to learn new skills. The internet has made it possible to learn so many things from the comfort of your home. And with all the videos on YouTube, you can learn a ton of things for free. In my case, to do the entrepreneurial stuff that I'm doing, I taught myself and took some courses to create and launch a podcast and a website and an e-commerce store and now YouTube. I know you can do your version of this. Use learning as a tool to keep growing your skills, knowledge, and income. The second stop on the roadmap is to increase how much you earn. I know that sounds screamingly obvious, but a lot of people keep doing the job they're in even though they're unhappy with their financial situation. The obvious first thing you could do is try to get a big pay increase where you work. If you've been learning and growing your skills, this will be easier for you than if you haven't. Check job sites to see what the typical wage is for your role. If you're far below it, then you have a decent shot at getting a raise. Emphasize to your employer how good you are on the job and how much value you bring to the team. Another option is to try to change into a higher paying, different job where you work, preferably one with a better career path. If it doesn't work out, meaning you're not able to get a big pay increase where you are, and if you're not learning valuable skills for your future, then you must find a different way to make money because the current situation is not good for you in the long run. Your options are to find a different job, meaning same job but at a different employer, or change careers altogether, or you could start your own business. Starting a business is a bigger topic than we can cover here. Check out my other videos to learn about that. But the important thing is you would probably want to start it on the side of your job so you can set it up and test the business idea and get it going while you're still earning your regular pay. For all these options, you may need education to learn new skills. Do your learning on the side while you keep working at your current job. And try learning on the job too by pitching in on projects or tasks that are new to you. It may be tough, finding the time to do all this, but it's temporary. It's the price you pay for the change you want. Embrace this as a challenge that you can accomplish, not an obstacle that stops you. How proud will you feel later when you tell the story of how you faced this challenge, but worked through it and became the success that you are now? Whichever of these options you pursue, one of your primary goals is to earn more money so you can improve your financial situation. The third stop on the roadmap to riches is to minimize or control your expenses. Your ability to control expenses is powerful but limited. While you can grow your income a lot, you can't reduce your expenses below zero. You need somewhere to live. You need transportation to get to work. You need food. You need entertainment, or you'll go a little crazy. But you don't need a fancy new car. And if you have several cars, maybe you need fewer. You don't need an oversized house or apartment. You don't need a wardrobe full of expensive clothing. The first rule when it comes to controlling expenses is don't buy expensive things that lose value. The salesman might talk about investing in a new car, but be clear, for most people, a new car is a luxury, not an investment. Investments grow in value, but that expensive new car will rapidly lose value on its way to zero. That closet full of designer clothes and shoes will soon be worthless. There are lots of ways to economize without getting ridiculous about it. For example, it's becoming more popular to live close enough to work in town to not need a car. If that works where you live, that might save you a ton of money. Can you be comfortable in a smaller home or apartment? Do you have a storage unit that you're paying for every month full of stuff that you can't even remember you own? Downsize or get rid of it. Look at all the money you're spending on cell phone, cable, and internet services. It can be a lot more than you realize. How much can you cut it down by eliminating some or changing the providers? Do you eat out frequently? What if you cut back on a few of these meals and just ate at home? When I graduated from business school 20 years ago, I had about $80,000 in school loans, which was a lot at the time, and a low-paying job because I graduated right into a recession. I was determined to pay off my loans as soon as possible, so I moved in with my mother and put up with a very long commute to work so I could live at home for cheap and shoveled all my free cash into my loans. Later, when I moved in with my future wife, we lived for 4 years in a 400 square foot studio because it was inexpensive, even though by then we were both making a good paycheck, and we saved a huge portion of our pay. When it comes to living frugally, or with a lot of other things in life too, people often say, "I can't," when really what they mean is, "I don't want to." To help you get excited and motivated about this, I'd highly recommend you read the book, The Millionaire Next Door, or listen to the audiobook. This book was a huge source of motivation for my wife and I during the years when we chose to live so frugally in New York City because it gave lots of real-life stories of regular people who lived very ordinary, comfortable lives while living well below their means and saving and investing until they became millionaires. A powerful part of finding success in anything you do is to find the motivation to start doing it and keep doing it over time. This book will help you get and stay motivated. I'll link to it in the description of the video just in case you're interested. The fourth and final stop on the map is our destination, the creation of excess cash flow. This is what we've been building up to, and it's so important. If you increase your earnings relative to your expenses, you will increase how much cash you have available to pay down debt and to save and invest. Imagine a simple example just to illustrate the power of this, where you increase your annual earnings by maybe $7,000 pre-tax, which is about $5,000 after tax, and you trim your expenses just a little by a little more than $400 a month, which is another $5,000 a year. So combined, this gives you an increase in after-tax cash flow of about $10,000 per year. That's huge. If this was the only change you made in your life, and you invested this $10,000 every year in an IRA, which protects it from taxes, for the next 30 years, earning 7%, it would grow to over $1 million. So if you're 35 years old now, you would have that at age 65. What if you're younger, maybe 25 years old, so you could do this for an additional 10 years? By the time you're 65, you would have $2,146,000. This is the power of regularly saving a modest amount of money for a long period of time. Don't count on windfalls. Instead, take control of your life, take control of your finances, and make your own future. Again, read the book, The Millionaire Next Door, which I've linked to in the description. It really brings this whole video to life with real life stories. Good luck, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.